I am on my Cool J. You're not tuned into Off My Cool J. And we're back at it again with the Cool Report. That's right, I said it, the Cool Report. And today we're coming live to you from B6 Studios. So hopefully you guys enjoy this shit. Now, before I start, I'm letting you know I'm not going to talk about what happened the whole week because all the good juicy shit happened this weekend. So from January 27th to January 30th today, the 30th, a lot of shit happened. Real, like, life-changing, altering, history-making kind of shit. And that's what I want to talk about. So first thing we're going to talk about is the same shit that we've been talking about for the last 10 days. And if you don't know what happened in the last 10 days, you've been living under a rock. Because on January 20th, President-elect, well, he's now President, Donald Trump was put into office, right? So ever since then, people have been bitching since he's been in office, and I kind of see why you're bitching, especially all that shit that transpired this weekend, because the first thing that happened soon as he was sworn into office mid-inauguration, there was protesting, there was riots, there was looting, and then the good shit out of it was the Women's March. The Women's March did good, but this is me sidetracking here real quick, because it's the women's rights. We know what you want, but a lot of women have been bitching that they want a man that keeps promises, and guess what? Donald is keeping promises, because everything he said he was gonna do, he's doing. So I don't know why y'all mad for, but back to the real note. No, I am not a fucking Trump supporter. I just fucking find it funny, and it's ironic. But back at it again. All right, Trump ban. That was the biggest thing this weekend. Trump banned Muslims from coming into the U.S. I think it was for like 120 days. That's one day too many already, all right? So he thought that he was going to fly this shit under the radar and nobody was going to say shit. Nah, homie. As soon as people heard of it and got wind of it, everybody fucking mounted up and fucking went to protest at the airport. Now, if you saw the footage, I hope you saw the footage. If not, you're really fucking slipping and not paying attention to what's going on. From LAX to JFK, that's LA to New York, a lot of airports there was a protest being held to show the support of our Muslim brothers. You know, I say Muslim brothers, I'm not actually a Muslim, but you know, I am part of the human race and we're all as one. So they were being banned from coming here. Really, it was real out discrimination. So it's just like, I said discrimination. I apologize. You know, I be slacking sometimes, but it's some real foul shit to be judged. To judge one person, to judge a group of people of one person's actions, that's real fucked up. And you know, people that were like, yo, I can see why, are the same people that are like lobbying for the wall too. But that's a different story. I'm not going to get into the wall. So I just want you to think of this. Like, yo, imagine you're coming from overseas. Like, you're on a plane. You're hyped. This might be your first time in America. This might be your third or fourth time in America. Get there. Boom. America's closed. You're not allowed in. Yo, picture it like this. This is the club. Alright? Yo, I'm on the list. Let me in. No, the fuck you're not. You're gonna be tight. Especially them. Because I know getting your visa, it can't be that fucking easy. Because if that's the case, then Mexicans will be fucking filling out their paperwork, right? Instead of jumping the border or doing the fucking pole vault over certain walls in their area that are already established there. Alright? I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, but let me just stay off of it. All right. So imagine that you get here, America's closed. You're gonna be mad. You have your family waiting for you. That's even more upsetting. And they're not letting you really get in contact with them. They're just telling you, nah, you can't stay here. You gotta go back to whatever situation, whatever you've done. You gotta go back to where you're going. So he banned like 6 or 7 Islamic states that have known, they're allegedly known, I don't know, how can I place that? They're known to have terrorists around them, right? But that's like saying, oh, if you're from Chicago, you can't come to New York because I know there's vice lords and such here, so we can't let you come over here and bring in that shit here. when there's already shit already here. All right, you can't say Muslim extremists are fucking crazy when we have American extremists, religious extremists, Christian extremists doing wild shit too. You don't believe so? Ask Timothy McVeigh. So, I'm going into a tangent here, and I'm really not trying to go down this shit like that. But yeah, it was pretty fucked up. And to think that he could really just, you guys are magically banned today, and think nothing was gonna happen, that the protests weren't gonna happen, you're bugging. This is America. We're built off that shit. Everybody else in the world is basically pissed off about this shit. Canada says they're gonna take refugees. I know other places said they're gonna take refugees, but that's only because of the Geneva Act. But it's just whatever. Well, it's not really whatever, because it's real life shit. But in the midst of this, right? The TLC, and I don't mean T-By's Left Eye in Chile, the Taxi Limousine Commission, to help to join along the protest, goes, yo, we're gonna protest for an hour and not pick anybody up, or drop anybody off, I suppose, because I heard stories, going on a side note, I heard this morning, today's January 30th, this morning on the radio and on Instagram, 2 people made remarks about going to the airport and being let out like a mile or 2 miles away from the airport and having to walk there. Now, as crazy as that sounds, I know this shit was last minute. If you hear, because I've heard of this shit before it actually went down. I knew this shit was gonna go down. I know other people aren't into social media like that, but you kind of, it would just suck. If it was real shit, if you had real life shit on the 28th, which was a Saturday, to attend to, you didn't get to it. It's just facts. Because the protest had to be from maybe about 15 hours long as well, until some of that shit cleared up. But yeah, the TLC, they went on a little hour protest where they didn't do anything, so everything was real jammed up. So the next person that comes up is Uber. So Uber was like, all right, we're gonna cut back on surcharges because the demand for it was really high, but you're going against a fucking grain that you're already going against. TLC and Uber have beef for the longest. I've heard of the fights breaking out between these guys. That shit is real crazy. And just to do that, they were gonna publicize that shit, and it's for it was for a good cause, but it was really an hour, so how good was it? But it was for a good cause, and all I saw was Uber could release a statement saying that, yeah, we were just trying to help people out, but at the end of the day, we're not fucking stupid. You saw money to make, and you fucking took your chance, and I kind of understand, but you look like a real dickhead right now. And on top of him being, not Uber's, I think Uber's owned by women, but I'm gonna say them or they because I didn't really fully fact check. So because they wanted to be greedy, now they're under the gun. And on another thing, they really bitched up today too, because they got all this shit. So this shit happened Saturday. They went through it on Sunday. They were still getting shit, and even until today, even as right now as we speak, they're still getting shit for it. But earlier this morning, right, Uber pulled out they bitch moves. They pulled out they bitch side and go, yo, I don't know why you guys are going at us like this. Yes, we are semi-Trump supporters, but you know what? You know who else is a Trump supporter? Pepsi is a Trump supporter, IBM, General Motors, Tesla, Disney, and they're just like, really, bro? How you gonna throw me under the bus for you fucking up like that? We already know you're a Trump supporter. Why you gotta fucking pull me out into the fucking light like that for? Because you fucked up and wanted to make more money on the side. So, yeah, they really pulled some bitch shit right there. But, back to the fucking ban. Thank God. New York really doesn't, our mayor doesn't really fuck with Trump like that. So he was like, you know what? We'll let people in. Other airports started letting people in too. So shit coming together. It's fucking great. I love that shit. This is what times, and these times, this is what we need. We need to be together instead of divided. And it kind of brings me back to this fucking president. Like, I didn't vote for this fucking man, but I know, and like certain people feel the same way that I feel. You could say he's not your president all you want, but at the end of the day, he fucking affects our lives. Like, that ban shit, that shit is real. So you're like, nah, he's not my president, and next thing you know, you gotta fucking, if you're a person of a different descent, if you're fucking African, if you're English, if you're fucking Irish, if you're fucking Muslim, if you're Muslim, not really, it's really a religion. If you're fucking like Iranian, wait, speaking of Iranian, did they really fucking ban us? Like, I think I don't know if it's true, but that's not a real card for you to hold. Like, oh, if you're stopping us from coming to America, we're gonna ban you from Iran. And I might sound a little ignorant right now, but is there really anything in Iran for me to really fucking see? Like, isn't it just like fucking sand out there? A lot of fucking sand. You know what Iran reminds me of? Iran is probably like Arizona. Like, that's what Iran is in America. It's Arizona. It's just a bunch of hot shit. It's a bunch of hotness. I know it's I've heard fucking temperature degrees reaches up to like 114 degrees out there, and there's nothing but desert. So it's the same shit. That's like me fucking banning. Like, you know what? Just go to Arizona. That's basically what you're saying. If I want to go to Iran, I'm going to Arizona. It's basically the same shit, except there's just less brown people over there. There's just a lot of white people. But yeah, Iran, that wasn't really like a strong enough card for you to play. You should have just held off on like oil. Well, if we're banned, then we're not gonna give you oil. Then we would have been like, oh, fuck that. That shit would have been lifted right away. But shit, I'm not sweating not going to Iran. I could go to Phoenix for that shit. But oh, any Iranians listen to this? I'm just playing around. I'm a dickhead like that. Please do not fucking send me hate mail. Or better yet, if you want to enlighten me about Iran and show me the glory of Iran, you can leave me a message under this video or podcast if you're hearing this on SoundCloud, and you can buy me a ticket. I don't know, but I'm not doing no strange shit for some change. Alright? But, alright, I keep going off. I totally forgot what I was going with this. But yeah, that Muslim ban shit is real whack, B. That shit is like, that shit reminds me of stop and frisk, but international. Like, international stop and frisk. That's exactly what it really is. Let's just call a spade a spade. We're just fucking stereotyping and like, alright, that's where the bad people are. That's where we're gonna go get them, or that's where we don't want them. And if you follow my social media, I've talked about it a couple of times where I've been stopped and frisked. And you know what pisses me off? I don't mind that I get stopped, it's whatever. But when I get frisked, why is it never a cute officer lady? It's either some like big doofy motherfucker that's mad rough. And shit, no disrespect to the gay community or the LBGT. I don't know what you guys go by right now. Please don't come at me. But I just don't like the way another man's hands feel on me. I'm just saying. But that's exactly what this ban is. It's just fucking stop and frisk internationally, and we're not for that either. But this guy is fucking, I don't know. I can't knock somebody for keeping their word, because he's doing exactly what he said he was gonna do. We knew this ban. Nobody thought he would really fucking try it, but he's doing it. We knew that wall. He's building this wall. It's just getting real crazy. But back to the airport matter. All right, that shit's handled for now. Hopefully, they won't try to re-bring that shit back up. But it was just a bad weekend for the airport, because if you weren't on an international flight or had to get to like any terminals past like the international terminal, you were kind of, if you were flying probably Southwestern or whatever, you would have been fine. Spirit Airlines, the Malaysian Airlines, don't kill me. You probably would have been fine. But if you were flying Delta, man, this just wasn't your week, B, because their systems crashed. They caught a glitch again. First time in we're still in, hold up, yeah. I thought it was in 2016 for some reason, but yeah, it's 2017, and they caught a glitch again. Like, they're notorious for that shit, and it left thousands of people stranded. So imagine being there on Saturday, and you're like, are you protesting? Nah, the fucking Delts is down, yo. Well, you might as well protest. I'd be tight. And this is gonna sound like I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm really not, because, you know, airports have coffee places, and one of the places that is getting shit right now is Starbucks. So you might have been, if you were there with a Trump supporter, and if you mentioned Starbucks, you might have got an earful, because that shit was wild too. Because Starbucks, people forget, even though it started in Seattle, it is now international. It is fucking going places, or else it's been going places. And they said, I think they were gonna hire at least 10,000 refugees. Did I get that right? 10,000 refugees, right? To start working at Starbucks. And Starbucks isn't the only one. They're just getting the most shit because they're a big fucking company that comes out of Seattle. But Airbnb said the same shit. They're gonna attend to refugees. If you've been displaced because of the shit that just happened this weekend, they're welcoming you in. And there was somebody else, but I can't remember. But Starbucks said they're gonna hire some people, some refugee people, if they really fucking need it. So where does that trigger a problem? Oh, all right. 10,000 refugees doesn't even have to come from America. It's fucking worldwide, right? But this shit is becoming a big issue here in America, because now it looks like Trump supporters are going, well, now you're supporting terrorism because of these refugees and so on and so forth. And that could probably be the furthest from the truth. I don't know, right? But white women, they're like, I've been on Twitter today, and they seem the most angriest. And white women, I have to tell you this, that y'all need to shut the fuck up, because I know damn well you're not fucking boycotting Starbucks, all right? Not yet. Wait. You'll probably boycott it for like a couple of months, and then go back around, I say October, for some fucking pumpkin spice latte, to December so you can get some peppermint. But you're not gonna sit here and bullshit me and tell me you're gonna boycott Starbucks when those caramel frappes are on point. All right, you're just bullshitting a bullshitter, and that shit ain't smart. All right, now I already know that shit ain't gonna happen. So, like, come on, keep it moving. Like, that's just a waste of time. Now, out of all of this, Kim K, you know, I forget what she is. If you don't, Kim K, do I really have to explain who Kim K? You should. Kim Kardashian, fat ass, big old booty. Yo, she actually decided to not post pictures of her kids this weekend, post pictures of that booty this weekend, and drop some actual factual fucking facts. And she dropped the statistics of an American killed in this year, right? So, right-wing terrorists, jihadists, and U.S. jihadists, those deaths were in single number digits. Didn't even hit double digits. So for like a jihadist to kill an American, right, it's about 2 or 3 kills a year, right? So that's like, all right, so let me break that down. That means somebody has to come from the Middle East, come to America, and kill somebody, right? I think, what happened last year? Did that happen last year? I can't remember. Did somebody come here that was Middle Eastern? I can't fucking remember. There's so much shit. Now back to U.S. jihadists. There's a bunch of that shit happening here, where these Muslim extremists were doing shit, but it still wasn't high up there like that either. Now this is where it gets crazy. Now we're at the double digits, and not even like, it's not like, I'm not gonna bullshit you and be like, yo, it was like the 99s. All right, there was 21 deaths this year. Not this year, it's too early. Last year, 21 deaths at the hands of a toddler. That means an armed toddler. Now, what constitutes a toddler? From the ages of 1 to 5, maybe 7, I don't know. But why would a fucking toddler have a gun? That's one. 2, why the fuck is that gun loaded? Why is it in toddler's reach for a fucking kid to shoot anybody, whether it's himself, herself, the brother, the sister, the parent, the dog? And 21 is really fucking high. So that, like, I'm not, how can I say this? Because gun control is cool, but if you make it too strict, like, people that need guns, like, just to protect their family, right, it's gonna be harder for them to get guns. As opposed to me, I could go right down the block from where I'm at right now and go get myself a Desert Eagle, clean, no bodies on it, easy. But you're fucking up everybody else's constitutional right. Now, if you're gonna sit here and tell me, like, oh, but why do you need a gun to begin with? Go walk in Chicago and you tell me why you need a fucking gun to begin with, alright? But that kind of goes against my shit, because they're fucking walking around with Dracos and shit. But, yeah, 21 is too fucking high. The other double digit numbers where it goes up to like 30s, the 60s, is natural deaths. I can't even say natural deaths. I know that number's high. Unnatural death should be fucking high too. Maybe those are in the hundreds. I don't know yet. I gotta do the fucking math. But yeah, I don't remember those stats for those. But like, when I say natural deaths, I'm guessing like heart attacks or some shit. And unnatural deaths is like being hit by cars. I know that those numbers are high. I just can't fucking remember it. But back at it again with the other shit. People that have been shot by other Americans. I think that number is at 11,737. I may be off some. Out of 11,737, I think about 300 belongs to Chicago in America. That's just getting wild out there. I think Trump is ready to put that shit under martial law and shut that shit down, even though he could find better ways to fucking calm down Chicago by opening up programs to help people, and us spending $13 billion on a fucking wall that's already there but just partially there is fucking crazy, when we can invest in our communities, invest in our fucking education, you know, like do real shit with our money. But I'm not gonna get fully into that shit. But yeah, 11,737 is the number that I think of people that were shot by other Americans. And I think, I don't remember, but it might, yeah, I think that's death toll wise, right? No, I think it's just, yeah, I think I said death at the beginning. I'm not sure. Yeah, it has to be death, right? So that's the number. Those numbers are still too high for me. If you ask me, not joking, not trying to be a political person. This is not even a political podcast, but for some reason, people like the Cool Report, so I'm just gonna fucking do it because that's what's hot right now in these streets. Cash me outside, how about that? Alright? Now, more crazy shit that happened this fucking weekend. I think it happened today, or last night. And today's January 30th, today's a Monday, and it was that shooting in Canada, in Quebec, where 6 people were killed, 8 wounded, and, yo, I've thought about running away to Canada, but they over there wilding out in Canada too. Now, if you're saying 6 kills and 8 wounded isn't that crazy, you need to fucking reevaluate this shit, because anything more than a fucking life being taken is too much. But yeah, 2 men walked into a mosque in Canada and Quebec, did that damage, right? Only one of them were caught. Now, as much as we punk Canada, I really hope like they take some American tactics. And by American tactics, I mean like waterboarding kind of shit. Like, yo, are you gonna tell me where your partner is or what his name is? And like we torture the fuck out that motherfucker, like we would do here in America, and get some answers out of that person. But it's Canada. Canada is like the nicest well, from what I hear, is like the nicest fucking place on earth. Their killings aren't really that high, and I'm pretty sure it has as bad shit like any other place in the world. But these niggas better not be asking, please, can you please tell me who did this fucking shooting? Cause yeah, that shit ain't gonna work. But yeah, this fucking weekend was pretty fucking crazy with all this shit. And it's just like, all this shit really isn't fucking needed. It's like, this is just too much extra shit. And I don't know if I got back onto this subject. Well, I'm going back onto it today because Ebro from Hot 97 and some lady named Sage were talking about like the protesters that were happening at the airports. And they were like, it's a huge inconvenience. They shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, that's some real American shit. Like, it really is. Like, yo, how can you fucking have me waste my time to help out my fellow human being, somebody that's not part of that's not an American, but part of the fucking human race? That, yo, you guys shouldn't be an inconvenience to me. That's just fucking wild shit. But you know, this is social media days, social media ever. They fucking tear into your ass over this shit. And you know, I'm a little bit older. I think I'm about to be 30 this year. I don't fucking know. So I'm not that fucking soft-hearted. And internet bullying does not affect me because I know there's this magical button called an off button. So I couldn't give two fucks. But yeah. This Cool Report was really fucking serious. And let's see. Hopefully there'll be better news for next week. Hopefully something will go on. But this fucking weekend was pretty fucking crazy, and like I was just glad to see us come together and stick up for people and shit. And when I say glad, I mean other people, not actually me. This weekend I wasn't really under a car. I wasn't even under a car either. I was fucking helping out my cousin shoot some shit for Build Season episode 2, volume 1, that's coming out today too, along with this podcast. And that's a shameless plug right there. But yeah, that's hopefully shit'll get brighter this week. Hopefully there's better shit to talk about than all this negativity that's going on. Or I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more positive. I don't even think I pulled that off with this one, but I had fun doing this one because it was just like real shit to talk about. But yeah, this is All My Cool J, and this was Off My Cool J's The Cool Report, and I'm out. Peace.